waiting around all day yesterday and then having to prepare again for today.
Here's how Lendl got here. He has not lost a set.
Easy first 3 rounds, you can see, and then a little tougher match against Yared. A decisive win over John McEnroe, and then also a decisive win over Jimmy Connors, the last American in the men's singles.
Ivan serving 15 love.
All.
Would he, Tony, make a conscious effort in these blustery, windy conditions to change his ball toss?
Well, it's lower than it used to be, Pat. It's still, I think, a little higher sometimes than that he needs to have it. But if he starts having a lot of trouble, I think what he'll probably try to do would be to spin it in, not try to hit the first one as hard, so you don't have to worry about getting the second serve in effectively. Also, Wilander, we'll take a look at here at Lendl's service motion. Toss goes up, and you see it's out of the picture, so that's higher than he can reach. The ball is falling down as he hits it, and if it is gusty, that can eventually be a problem. But on the other hand, Mats Wilander is not going to take his serve and come in behind it, so that pressure is alleviated.
Interesting rally there. It's only early in the set, but
30 all.
I'm interested to see what tactics what Lendl is going to employ. I'm pretty sure I know what Wilander is going to do. He's just going to keep the ball in play all the time and make as few errors as he possibly can. Looks as though Lendl was in a bit of a hurry to get to the net there, Tony, to force the issue.
Yeah, it is early, but it looks like he's going to try to be aggressive.
Force the issue.
Right. Long.
40-30.
Just saw Tony Roach, Lendl's coach, in the picture. It's how many backhands do you think Wilander hit then? About 12, and they're all single-handed. And here's a guy that grew up with a two-handed backhand, and he has taught himself to hit the single-handed slice backhand. I think probably specifically for these courts, Tony.
Yeah, and also when you get him on the run where he can't reach as well with the two-hander.
There's the two-hander.
Right.
Now back to the one-hand.
It's the one he didn't have a few years ago.
Just surprised he's using it so much here.
Thanks.
Game to Lendl. Mats Wilander now to serve.
This is how Mats Wilander got to the finals. Again, first 3 rounds very easy. Then you see lost a set to Mechir, which was a 4-hour tough match for him. and then won the semis against his good buddy Stefan Edberg in 4 sets. He said that match against Machir was really tough because he said he felt like he was never in control. He was stiff the next day and so forth. He was happy to get through that one.
He went to the two-hander there on the attempted passing shot, and I'm really surprised that he missed this. See what he actually did here. He's setting up, coming in. He just let the racket head get underneath the ball and didn't come over it. I wonder, Tony, if he's hitting that many single-handed backhands, it's a bit confusing. It could be coming under the ball and then every now and then hitting the two-hander trying to come over it.
Yeah, it's tougher to, I think, tougher to control the passing shot when you've hit 6 or 8 of the slice backhands. I think he's trying to hit the slice to take some pace off and also to keep the ball low so Ivan can't really hit it from a higher position and be more aggressive with it.
There's the two-hander. And again. Hit the line and took off. You could see Lendl staring at it. Lendl was all ready to make a shot at this. It was a pretty solidly hit volley, but not that solid that it should skid like that. You could see Wilander was expecting Lendl to reach the ball. Did you see the surprise on Lendl's face?
He thought he was in position to get there.
Yeah, he was going to take a swing at it, and suddenly it was gone.
30-15.
All.
Mats Wilander's wife, Sonia Mulholland. They got married on, I think, January the 3rd this year.
Broke a lot of hearts. A lot of young ladies disappointed they were trying to hook Mats.
He's had an excellent year this year too, Mats Wilander. 1986, he was a bit scratchy, a bit up and down. He was questioning himself whether he really wanted to play tennis.
Whether he wanted the pressure, whether he wanted the dedication it took to be at the top of the heap. Hit.
40-30.
That was Samantha, wasn't it?
Right.
That came on and off with it. She had the cap pulled over her eyes. Ivan Lendl's girlfriend.
There she is.
Yeah.
Playable, but not quite in sync.
I think if Lendl's game tactic is to be aggressive and play aggressive shots, he's going to have some trouble out there.
I think one of the things to watch for
15 low
is where they play in relationship to the baseline. In that last game, Lendl was on or inside the baseline as much as he could be, and Mats was 5, 6, 7 feet behind the baseline. That, to me, is a counter-punching defensive position when you're that deep in the court. And, of course, that's the way he plans to play it, I think, is to, as we say, counter-punch and try to react to whatever Lendl tries to do.
in many cases, Lendl likes to do that play from behind the baseline, but he's in the role of the aggressor today.
You see how deep Mats was there? He was
30
maybe 8, 9 feet behind the baseline, and that's an awfully deep position to be able to make the passing shot because the ball travels such a long distance.
.30 love.
Not bad. Won 20 consecutive U.S. Open matches.
First serve.
Oh, it was actually inside the line. I don't know why.
So we're going to use this further on or what?
That ball was
Turn it off.
Yes. All was good.
So what are you using that or not? Obviously something's wrong with it, or the ball is out. So either way, we're not going to use it, right?
Let me talk to the referee.
Why don't you talk to him now?
Okay.
I'm going to play this.
Discussion is about whether the machine called Cyclops is going to be used to call the service line or not.
Oh, what happened is the serve was struck. Cyclops went off, but the umpire said no, it was good. It was inside the line.
No, I didn't see anything that got in the way to cause it to be. I was surprised when it beat, but I thought the ball was good too.
Obviously, the overall was correct. Yeah, but we trust the machine to go with it.
I think we got to go continue with the machine. Maybe just the ball scooted in the line. I think we should try the machine again. If we have one more problem, we'll shut it off. But let's continue with the machine right now.
Okay, so it's one serve, right?
First serve.
First serve. And your ball was definitely good.
So why are we using it?
Ken Farrar and Gail Bradshaw.
Ball could have skipped past the line and set it off.
Where's Lendl gone? Can't see him.
If we have one more problem with the machine, we turn it off.
Ah, there he is.
If we have another
It
problem,
might have
one
been
more.
just a once-in problem. First serve.
In any case, he's got 2 serves coming.
Right. That's what started the discussion because there's Tony Roach
Wait,
and
please.
also Jan Anders Slogren in the background there with a white cap on, who was Mats Wilander's coach. I thought that was handled nicely by the players. Fair discussion.
40 love.
40 love. First ace.
Something that
40-15.
I said I didn't think would happen. I didn't think Mats would take the second serve and hit it. I think it's a good idea to do that once in a while.
That last attempted passing shot of Lendl's off the forehand was strange, wasn't it? He looked like he thought, oh, this is easy, I'll just hit it there. Wasn't hit with a lot of conviction. There's another mishit forehand.
Should think that's got to be the wind.
I think it has to be.
Well, I've seen him miss hit some without being windy day. You know, he's a human being. You take your eyes off of it. The way he swings at the ball, the racket is coming from well below the flight of the ball, passing up through it to get that extra topspin. So both edges of that racket have to intercept the flight of the ball. Certainly the gusty wind doesn't help.
Second double fault.
Deuce.
Then it's back to deuce. Or is deuce.
Advantage Lendl.
Missed it.
Deuce.
Johnny Carson, who's been an avid observer throughout this long final weekend.
Yeah, he's put in a lot of hours there. Just thinking Mats Wilander there, you see him in the screen. He doesn't mind how he gets them back, does he, Tony? He get the ball back into play.
He doesn't mind how he gets him back.
Well, just keep making your
Advantage
opponent
Lendl.
hit another shot, and that can start to wear on you. You're out there for 2 or 3 hours, and you have to always hit an extra shot. You think you've hit a winner, and he stretches out, pushes it back.
The interesting thing to me is the flags are pointing toward Ivan Lendl as if the wind is in his face, yet if you look at the people's hair in the box right behind the court, it's blowing like the wind is behind his back. That's why stadium courts are tough.
Game Lendl.
2-1 Lendl. Saturday, 2:30 Eastern Time, live right here on CBS. That might be one of the best games of the year.
They actually go and play in Death Valley.
We have a big, you wouldn't understand. They got a big stone that they rub. All the Clemson players come out and rub this stone before they go out and play.
Okay.
In addition to that, they play in Death Valley. Yeah.
Made a terrific volley, and he ends up getting past. Watch this backhand volley is hit decisively, very deep, and look at Mats with a two-hander, guide it down the line. Boy, that was a terrific point by both players. You make that backhand volley 10 times, you'd win 9 of them.
Mats made the two-handed stab backhand there look easy. Unbelievably tough shot from the baseline.
30 love.
Trying to figure out what determines Matt's to hit a single-hander or a two-hander, because he hit both in that rally.
Probably just trying to mix it up some.
Yeah. The lower balls he seems to elect to hit the one-hander to the slice. Now that's a play that we
30,
rarely
15.
see Lendl doing. That's showing us that he does want to force the pace. He's not that keen to get out involved in long rallies every point.
And I think he can do it. I mean, if he wants to, he's certainly fit enough, and he has a sound ground strokes, but he is in a more aggressive mode.
Way inside the baseline when he hit that service return.
Yeah, I would think that one of Matt's weaknesses is his second serve, so it would be a good tactic to put pressure on it.
That's a good sight, the beautiful blue sky.
We didn't see much blue sky Saturday and Sunday. The unforced error situation. 7-5. Lendl has 7.
Game, Wilander.
2-2.
Somehow you don't feel in great control.
Ivan Lendl has not lost a match since the Wimbledon final. He lost to Pat Cash. By the way, in case you didn't know or didn't read, Pat Cash lost in the first round here at the U.S. Open.
That was an emotional moment at Wimbledon when he won and then ran up through the crowd to get to his dad, his coach, and his girlfriend. Never seen that, I don't think. They've never seen that happen at Wimbledon before.
Well, there's no question about his athletic ability. Not only winning, but climbing up.
That's right.
To get to his family and friends.
The Duke and Duchess of Kent were down waiting, and he came back down. His game is perfectly suited for grass. He got to the semis here in '84, lost 7-6 in the fifth to Ivan Lendl.
Great match that was.
Ivan Lendl's dad, Jiri, and mother, Olga. Olga was ranked second in Czechoslovakia at one stage. Dad was ranked 15th. Father's a lawyer. And they did a good thing. Ivan lipped off on the court when he was a kid, and they made him sit out and watch them play. And he decided that wasn't too much fun, so promised to behave properly and then back on the court.
48-15.
I don't think you'll see Ivan Lendl try many forehand drop shots as he did there. Not much backspin on it. Not a good play on this kind of a court anyway, although you do maybe want to draw a guy like Wilander in to make him have to volley. But then that topspin lob going into the wind went nowhere.
Hit a flat tire on the way to the net.
We don't see him do those drop shots very much. I'm just wondering if there was a little bit of early frustration creeping in.
Well, he's 2-all and was 40 love on his serve, so I guess you're going to try something like that at 40 love's the best time to try it.
That'll be one of those closet shots you talk about.
48-30.
Put it back in the closet and don't bring it out again.
Leave it there. That's right. Particularly on this kind of a court. There are reasons to do it. If you have somebody that doesn't like to volley and you want to bring them in, that's one reason to do it. Mats doesn't mind volleying. I'd say neither one of these players are really what you'd call excellent volleyers. They're somewhat mechanical. They've had to work hard at it. They're not natural.
Deuce.
That's his third double fault. And again, just to re-emphasize what we said in the beginning, both Tony and Nuke, that wind, and it's gusty, unpredictable, would appear to be having its effect on Ivan Lendl.
We've also said on other telecasts that you don't get careless at 40 love because that lead can disappear quickly. He tried that drop shot at 40 love, and here he is looking at deuce.
Well, he had 40 love in the first game as well and let Wilander get back to deuce. Some unforced errors. And he appears, gee, it's only 2-all in the first set, but I just had the feeling when he played that drop shot that there was a little frustration moving into him, psychological frustration.
And
that's the worst kind.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see what kind of a serve he tries to hit, whether he spins it in or he still goes for the hard first one. And if misses, then has to look at a second serve. Mats is well inside the baseline.
Well, deuce. Mats is looking at the ground. I think he thinks the ball shot through on him or something there, but that was a very tight shot from him. Really pushed at that one. They're very tense, aren't they, for 2-all in the first set?
This is a fairly important match, I'd say.
Yeah.
And perhaps what you mentioned, Nuke, having to wait an extra day. They've built the thing up more and more in their minds and bodies. There's no way you can come out here and freewheel it.
And not being able to work out at all yesterday.
Right.
You have a lot of time to think about it.
Advantage Wilander.
Watch Wilander. He's been staying very close to that baseline on these last couple of rallies. See, he's not as deep as he was, and you get the little reaction, and now he's got break point again. tough rallies.
Yeah, he's shown more in the last three matches here of the fist clenching and the come on, he says to himself after he wins a big point, more than I've ever seen him do before.
Game Wilander.
Game Wilander. He leads 3-2.
Here's another look.
We'll be back at the
Wilander
U.S.
leads
Open
3-2.
after this word from your local.
Lendl's been broken in this tournament.
15 love.
I'm just surprised that so early in the match, Lendl showing obvious signs of nerves, and Wilander's showing obvious signs of being pumped up and thinking that his game plan might be working.
$30 love.
Lendl hasn't lost a set the entire tournament.
Well, they've only played 5 games, and we're 40 minutes into the match already, so it's been a pretty torrid 5 games. He's pretty confident. That's the
40 love.
That was some angle volley.
Ivan Lendl 43-1 after winning the first set in matches played here at the U.S. Open.
Maybe Matt's that.
I doubt it.
That's a second serve.
Game Wilander.
Wilander leading 4-2 in the first.
And bingo, he serves and comes in and catches a guy by surprise.
Yeah, but on the second serve.
Lendl's at 46% on first serves thus far, and Wilander 53%.
And again.
Suddenly we're seeing a
Love 15.
complete change of tactics. For 35 minutes, Mats has been on the baseline having long rallies. He gets the break, he comes around and serves and volleys every ball and chips and charges on Lendl's serve.
Wilander's been in the net 8 times, won 7 of them. Pretty good percentage. Lendl 12 and won 7.
Love 30.
Love 30.
So you see, if you do get the first set against Ivan, you got a chance to beat him, if that record means anything, that stat.
Sure would help.
30 all. .40, 30.
Second ace by Lendl. Maybe it's just me, but Cyclops sounds like he's got a cold.
Speaking of colds, Ivan Lendl was happy to have yesterday off. He had a cold. And
Deuce.
he said after having that extra day off, he felt a lot better.
5 double faults by Lendl.
The wind is definitely
Advantage
with
Lendl.
Lendl because that first defensive lob that Wilander hit, he drove that thing up in the air, and you could just see it sort of sink back, and it just hit on the baseline.
I really think he thought the ball was going well out.
He was wise not to try to hit it in the air anyway.
Deuce.
First serve percentage. Those statistics, by the way, courtesy of the Unisys Corporation. He's really been a great help.
Advantage Lendl.
That ball really got blown around that time in the rally, moving around when Ivan took it short and low.
That's the tough thing down
Wait,
there.
please.
The wind comes
Coco.
from all different directions, and although the general pattern may be coming from behind Ivan Lendl, so that he's hitting with the wind, it will change and blow to the side and blow the other way. You never know what's coming up.
Game Lendl.
Long, but the points, the rallies are extra long.
First serve. Love 15.
Was the last player to take a set from Ivan Lendl in the U.S. Open? I have no idea. 1986,
Lecointe, huh?
the quarterfinals. Would figure.
Took the first set, didn't he, in a tiebreaker?
I think he did.
You know, I think would be a good tactic for either one of these players in these conditions would be to try to jump all over the other guy's second serve, come in behind a few in a row, try to say to him, look, I'm going to put pressure on your second serve. When it's gusty and windy, they can't really do as much with it, and it might work. It may not, but it'd be worth a try.
I agree, Tony. I think in gusty conditions, it's very difficult to hit passing shots, because passing shots, you have to hit the ball 2 or 3 inches from the sideline. Otherwise, it's going to be picked off at the net.
See where the serve lands, too.
And see if Lendl comes in. That serve was such that it would have been very difficult to come in. Plus, he ran around the backhand.
Right. But if you tried a few times, the message you send out says, hey, if you don't get it real deep and do it very well, I can hurt you.
Yeah, even as you say, even if it's not successful, at least it's a psychological play that you're putting pressure on your opponent, making them think.
15-30. Well, Lendl standing over to his left at the moment, at least, like he wants to hit forehand.
Previews Monday at 8.
Good shot. Took a bit of a swing at it.
Yeah, he had to play a good shot. He was so far out of court.
40.
He was out of position, knew he may not be able to get back. And it's 2 break points for Lendl.
15-40.
Now, if Lendl stood about 4 feet inside that baseline, this would be a very difficult second serve to put anything on.
Yeah, look how far back he is, though. Move back further.
And stayed way back, yeah.
Ivan, I think, is not an aggressive return of server.
It's not his nature.
No, and I think that's what hurts him on the grass courts at Wimbledon a little bit, that his return of serve is not nearly as good as it should be for the ability of his ground strokes.
He just takes that loopy swing at it, and on grass, when it stays low and you get some funny bounces, tough to get any consistency. But here, you do get a true bounce. He should be pretty effective on the return. Still has break point.
Game Lendl.
Game to Ivan Lendl.
Now that's
and he gets even.
That's a real swing around it.
There's. That's the 15th time Mats has lost his serve in this tournament. Only 5 times for Lendl. Those good old ground strokes can save you an awful lot, can't they? Get you back in a lot of matches. See how deep Lendl is?
Love 15.
That's when he gets in that defensive situation. I don't quite understand with the groundies that he has. No way you can hurt anybody from way back there. So I think he says, hey, I'm just going to try to keep the ball in play. Maybe you'll miss it.
Saw Lendl just toss the ball up for a practice toss before he served that time, and having a look at the sun, I think the sun's in a very difficult position for him, and what you have to do in that case, you have to move your toss around a little bit, throw it to the side, either side of the sun.
That's a question that we're asked an awful lot by the amateur, the club player.
I think he's just looking at him, I think he's tossing it a little bit to the right of the sun, having to turn his head around.
From that end, it would really be a problem. you're right. The toss looks entirely different.
It's a good shot from Lendl. Good choice of shot. He wasn't in a position to hit the passing shot. I know we say it a lot, but I think it's worthwhile repeating every time we see it, Tony, that, you know, don't try to play the passing shot if you're not set up for one. Let's get the ball soft and low and make the net player hit a volley up.
Matt's tried to close in for it and just couldn't quite get there quickly enough to get it before it got below the top of the net.
Plus, Ivan was 10 feet behind the baseline when he hit that shot.
Again, you see how deep Lendl is behind that baseline.
30 all.
Would that be interesting to see where he is when he changes ends and he's hitting with the wind? I think it might be because he's against the wind. Wilander's hitting a lot of high loopy shots there that are bouncing, and maybe they're forcing him back. But it's certainly not in a very aggressive position, is it?
No way. I think he could take it on the rise. He's the #1 player in the world. He has that ability.
Just hurried a little too much. He was there.
40,
He might have been a little surprised that he guessed right. There's a lob. Lendl lets it bounce. Now Matt stays, goes back to his right, and it's just sort of jabbed at the ball. And again, perhaps the wind's blowing around a little bit, but I think the ball struck that hard off the overhead, would stay pretty much on line. Uses the softer ball in the wind, it gets blown around. Lendl trying to take a 5-4 lead. Which he does.
And
ball change.
5-4 in the first.
First serve.
Wilander is serving with new balls. Make them a little faster before they get fluffed up.
4-5 in the first set. Mike Wallace enjoying.
He's a big tennis fan too, isn't he?
Oh yeah, good player.
Game Wilander.
5-all.
Against it.
I preferred to serve with it.
I like to serve against it unless it's a gale, because it helps bring it down for you a little bit when you're with it. It carries a little bit.
15 love.
About the strategy of the two so far, Tony?
Well, it's been pretty much alike. They both have done the ground stroke, stayed back and rallied. They're both trying to serve hard, and they both come in some. So to me, it's about a toss-up at this stage. And, of course, it's easy to say when you're talking about 5-all in the first set.
Yeah. I think that's one of the problems, the toss.
Yeah, I think Lendl's having a few more problems out there than Wilander at the moment.
Well, that's pretty much what you thought going in, wasn't it?
30
That he would have more problems?
He would have more problems with the wind. And I don't think things aren't going for Ivan exactly as he would like them to have gone so far in this first set. He's struggled and he's had to come from behind. 4-2, love 30 down. It's been hard for him, and Wilander's playing an excellent game so far. He's bringing everything back into court. He's making Lendl earn every point.
But Ivan knew that coming in. He was quoted as saying it's going to be tough. He doesn't give you anything, so it shouldn't be much of a surprise.
That doesn't ease the pain, though.
No, sir.
What has surprised me just a little bit, Pat, is that Wilander is very willing to be aggressive and take the initiative in some of these points. And I think that's a very smart play from him.
Well, it's something different, certainly.
I really thought that Lendl was going to win in 3 sets, but hard fought. But you know, at this, if it continues the way it's going, it's anybody's match.
Game to Lendl. 5-6 first set.
Love 15.
Tony, would you think the winning of this first set would be more important for which player, Wilander or Lendl?
Oh, golly, I think if Lendl wins it, his confidence soars and he might steamroll from then on. If he loses it, it could really boost Matz's chances to win this entire match.
Yeah, I agree.
It's 30-15.
Could be a very interesting tiebreak if we get into it.
that's a tough point. That takes a little bit out of you.
30 all.
They had long rallies like this at the French Open, but over there was more the loopy kind of things where they're way back and just blooping it back, and no one was trying to do anything. But here, though they're being patient, they're looking for openings. They're trying to do a little something. Got some really deep shots.
They're playing shots out here. They're hitting the ball pretty close to the line too.
And for those of you viewing that play this game, you know how difficult it is to hit that ball deep consistently.
That point cost us 3 flights.
First serve.
Well, Wilander was going to serve and volley on that first serve. This is a pretty big point, 30 all.
This is the time when he does that kind of thing. I don't know if he'll do it now because he hit that lead, but
Donald Trump on the right side of your picture with the container of popcorn, enjoying tennis.
And somehow you don't think of Mats Wilander as a big server, but he's made some terrific serves here, and he's trying to get into a tiebreak.
Game Wilander.
And we're in that tiebreaker situation.
6 all. Tiebreak.
6 all in the first.
He's going down to the middle on the second court as well, to Lendl's strength. He's done that a number of times.
These two have played 7 tiebreaks, and Lendl's won 6 of them. So if you go by that stat, you would think that Lendl has the advantage. Matter of fact, Lendl's in his U.S. Open career is 15-1 in tiebreaks. Wilander 11-4.
That was only just out.
Of course, first player to win the 7 points with at least a 2-point advantage will be the winner of this first set. There's Cyclops.
A nice approach shot from Lendl, something we don't see him do a lot of on the backhand side, the chip approach shot. He's got a, if Lendl wins in straight sets here, he ties the record of 28 consecutive sets, which was done by Frank Sedgman in 51-52. And Tony Trabert, I believe you have 27 consecutive sets.
Is that right?
Here at the United States Championship.
Don't tell me you didn't know that.
No, I didn't.
2-1. Lendl.
You see, you want to watch out. You never know when we're checking on you.
The gentleman that invented the tiebreak, Jimmy Van Allen, I had the pleasure of introducing him at the International Tennis Hall of Fame banquet last Friday night. He was 85 years young that day. He came up with a good idea. Otherwise, we could miss more than 3 flights.
2-all.
Ivan didn't like the call. We'll let you be the judge. Looked like it might have hit half the line. It's tough to tell.
I'd like somebody else to be the judge. You're right. That looked, well, it was awfully close.
It looked awfully close.
Yeah.
That's a judgment call.
You're right.
It's 2-all. It's a tie break.
Wilander.
Here's a Wilander reaction. He's been living and spending some time in America. His wife, Sonia Mulholland, got to sweat this one out. This is the first time Mats has been in the finals of the U.S. Open, so obviously it would be his first U.S. Open if he does win it. Serving at 3-2.
Again, he went to Lendl's forehand.
Times I thought Wilander was coming to the net. A couple of chances he had.
He did have a couple chances.
On that one back,
he had
took
to turn
a big,
and run.
big jump in the air forward and then turned around and ran backwards. Said, no, I don't think I want to come in on that one.
Yeah, it's now 3-all, and the players change ends after 6 points in a tie break.
I think we may see something about how the rest of the match is going to go in the next 3 or 4 points.
Well, you think he serves better from that end, right?
He has been so far in the set.
We are still in the first set
4-3, Lendl.
Of the men's finals at the 1987 U.S. Open. The match an hour and 21 minutes old. Still in the first set. We are, however, in a tiebreaker now.
That was a major decision then from Wilander to elect to serve and volley. Looked like Lendl was going to do the same.
Well, he's been in there 23 times and won 18 of them, so it's not a bad place to be. Matt's been in there 14 times and won 11. Missed it.
4-all.
Well, that was a bad one to miss because that's a bread and butter shot for Lendl. He loves that short forehand.
Downwind.
That's the problem. He seems to be having a bit of problem hitting with the wind with his forehand.
That was up. You know, that's the kind you just need to roll, cover a little bit more. Tony Roach can't bear to look at the moment. This is the way it should be. First set tiebreak, 4-all in a tiebreak. Finals, the U.S. Open. This is not an easy serve.
It was a good one.
Oh, that was a very
5-4,
nervous forehand from Lendl.
That was at the bottom of the net almost.
Yeah, you can see his footwork. He didn't move his feet properly, which shows that he's feeling the strain.
Now, Mats can serve out this first set if he can win these 2 service points. He leads 5-4.
This is from the end he seems to like.
Made a terrific lob with the wind, which is very tough to do, and you can tell it's gusty because Mats really couldn't take a real hard swing at it.
It was a good lob. You could see the way he hit it. He almost just pushed it up there.
Let the wind carry it.
Yeah, it was a good shot under immense pressure.
Lendl's parents.
I don't know. Lendl looks the tenser of the 2 players. Pat, what do you think?
Very much so.
The way he returned that was just a stab at the ball.
Tentative. Very tentative.
So at set point for Wilander with Lendl to serve.
Ivan taking a couple of extra deep breaths, trying to get the tension out of his body.
It won't happen.
Not quickly, anyway.
Oh, what a good serve.
Oh, that's going to be in.
Oh. Yeah, he's waving it out.
6-all.
6-all. They again change ends. What a nice time to come up with a huge serve.
Yeah.
Six sets. 6-6 in the tiebreaker. 6-6 in games, I should say.
Oh, that was a brave play from Lendl.
He didn't do a whole lot with that first backhand volley. He didn't get it near the sideline. And he gets right here. He gets it short and not near the sideline. So he gave Mats another swing, but he guessed or anticipated properly. Watch Lendl now when he makes this. Yes, sir. Now he has a set point with Wilander to serve at 6-7.
And Wilander has been going from this end to Lendl's forehand a lot, serving to the second court. I wonder if he'll do the same thing. Lendl must be wondering it also.
He did.
That ball looked like it was going out, and a gust of wind came and blew it back in.
And I don't know good by a foot, at least.
If we have a look at Mats here, he just crossed himself. There he goes. Blew in his hand, then crossed himself to say thanks very much.
Watch Lendl. He can't believe it. Oh, my gosh. Because it wasn't really that close. It was well in.
Oh, yeah, by at least a foot, and he had a chance to hit it.
As it went past Ivan, it was going out, and a gust of wind came and blew it well in.
7-all tiebreaker. First set.
First serve.
Again, the serve wide to the forehand of Lendl. It is really gusty. That makes it tough for both players. Wilander stepping backed away. Now it's set point for Wilander.
Lendl will be serving.
Once again under pressure, he served and came in behind it.
I was just wondering if he was going to do it again, Tony. This is more against the wind. Although the way it's blowing, it's all over the place.
Yeah, you
down
can't
there.
really tell.
Sweaty palm time.
Oh, these are tough second serves.
Ooh, that was close to being a double fault.
Game first set, Wilander 7-6.
Ivan really upset with the call.
Nuke, you feel that Mats is a little quicker than Ivan?
I do around the court, and his movement, let's say from a standing start, you know, getting up to a drop shot or something like that. I don't mean by that Lendl is slow around the court. I just think the Wilander is extremely fast.
I think he is. I would disagree. And I think Lendl is as fast, at least, and has improved his movement a lot.
More economical with his steps 15. Might be. He glides a little bit
Yes,
more.
he does. During the point, Lendl really conserves energy by gliding and sliding, where Mats bounces a little bit more. Or the final thing is getting to the ball and making the shots, and they both do that very well.
That's cool.
40-15 second set. Wilander won the first set.
Game Lendl.
Game to Lendl.
But perhaps Lendl had something to say about that.
Over in the grandstand, that match with Martina Navratilova trying to go for the triple is 12-all in the tiebreak.
The men's final, Pat.
All right, Mary. Lendl leading 4-love in the second set after Mats Wilander won the first set in the tiebreaker.
40.
And he has 3 break points here, and certainly want to congratulate Martina on her 3 victories here in the 1987 U.S. Open. What a feat that is, and what a wonderful champion she is.
Tony, I don't think a lot of people realize what an accomplishment that is. Singles champion, doubles champion, mixed doubles champion.
The court change counts about 40.
Oh, what was that?
Game, Lendl.
Like a fly got on the court. Come back and leads 5-love in the second set.
40 love.
And 40 love now. And will be serving for the second set.
The last person to win the triple here at the U.S. Open was Margaret Smith Court in 1970. So you say it's a marvelous thing. 17 years since Margaret did it. Great effort.
That was not really here. It's Forest Hills. On grass, I guess, at that time, wasn't it?
Game, second set, Lendl, 6 love.
Second set goes to Lendl, 6 games to love. And sets are 1-all.
Seats, please.
That was one of the strangest sets that I've ever seen. A set to Wilander and keep the pressure on Lendl. He took it right off. I would have bet anything that set would not have finished up as a 6-love set for Lendl.
You wouldn't expect to see a 6-love set between these two guys.
Got all fired up after that, what he thought was a bad ball. Wow, what a shot.
He was just about up against the backstop
Love
netting.
15.
Watch this. Watch how deep. The racket's ready, though. See, and he pops it cross court. Rolled it down, a good angle. So definitely Lendl on a big roll here.
I was just thinking, I think I played the mixed with Margaret that year when she won the triple. She served first and took the backhand court and all the overheads.
All.
Possible nuke for that one incident that we talked about, what Ivan Lendl thought was a bad call. Possible for an incident like that to stir you up like this?
It could have, but I really think the whole thing was due to Mats Wilander. I just think he took the pressure off. He didn't play nearly as intense a set as he played in the first set.
But the other guy's playing awfully well. He's picked up his tempo tremendously.
15-30.
The first set took 1 hour and 31. The second set 27 minutes. And now Matt's in a little bit of trouble right here at 15-30. A couple of great shots by Lendl at the start of this third set.
Match time now 2 hours.
Lendl played that forehand volley a little too carefully. It was one that he could have stung a little bit more. In that second set, one of the keys also was the lack of unforced errors by Ivan Lendl. He only made 3. He had 18 in the first set. So
how many did Wilander make?
In the second set, he made 9. He had 17 in the first set.
40-30. First game, third set.
Deuce.
Wilander's hitting a lot more two-handed backhands than he did in the beginning of the match. He sort of took us by surprise a little because 90% of the backhands he hit in the first 3 or 4 games were one-handed slice backhands.
Lendl.
That's his first double.
And that was really a case of the wind.
Yeah, he had sort of a shaky swing at it as the ball was blowing around some. Here's how they've done when they've had break points. Lendl 4 out of 6, Wilander 1 out of 2. Ivan picked his serving up in that second set, also up to 62% from 47 in the first. So
been pretty much his pattern.
Game Lendl, ball change.
Game to Lendl.
In the stadium.
All right, Tim. Thank you. Ivan Lendl serving to Mats Wilander. Sets are 1-all.
And he has a key break.
Already, Lendl does.
What does Wilander have to do here, Tony, to stop the rot? He's lost 7 games in a row. The match has swung around completely now.
I think one of the things he did in the first set you mentioned was the underspin backhand worked for him. Kept Lendl from being too aggressive.
Made him furnish all the power. Sort of deserted that. Once again, as Tony said, Lendl has picked up the quality of his game as well. Love 30, however.
He's played Lendl after the first set, seemed to relax a bit, which is quite strange. He was very tense in the first set, and you think he would be more tense having lost the set.
Yeah, you know, it's sort of the tribute to the #1 player in the world. Says, look, I know I can play this thing. I know I can win it. Just settle down and go out and do it.
Oh, look at that ball move in the air. That was incredible how much that ball moved in the air. The wind held it up, and then all of a sudden it started picking up.
3 break points.
Started to look like a knuckleball coming.
Yeah, the wind was against it, and then it was with it.
Got down to that forehand volley very nicely.
15-14.
He knew all he had to do was make it cross court. He got down, got those eyes near the level of the flight of the ball, but he's still down 2 break points to Mats Wilander. Mats really could use this to get even in this 3rd set.
30-40. Still break point. Ace number 6 by Ivan Lendl. Big gusty wind again now.
Deuce.
Some clutch serving and playing by the #1 seeded Lendl.
Again, a reminder that we'll stay with this match until it is completed. Deuce. That ball almost hit him on the way down.
That looked funny.
Advantage Wilander.
This is really, I mean, I shouldn't laugh, but suddenly the ball was almost going to hit him. The wind moved it, or changed its direction so much.
The one thing he did do, though, was never took his eyes off the ball as he was running back. A lot of people take their eyes off as if they got to run through a stream or jump benches on the way back.
You ever run back on one of those and had it hit you on the head?
I haven't, because, you know, you were taught to watch. Well, you see it happen all the time. Break point. You should be running to get to the side of the ball anyway, one side or the other, so you can make a lob out of it.
But the wind was blowing, so he couldn't make that kind of adjustment.
Yes, it was.
That it bounced twice. $15 low.
Two hours and 12 minutes, and we are at 1-all in the third set.
Got a good break with the planes today too.
Yeah.
Not going over.
The wind conditions, of course, in the event you might not be aware, LaGuardia Airport is close by, and when the wind conditions are such that they use runway 13, you can hardly hear any of us, which might be a blessing.
15 all.
Court coverage by Wilander. Tremendous shot making by Lendl had Wilander going to his backhand corner. And this one he just couldn't catch up to. He had gotten to 8 or 10 of them.
Tony, I think one of the things that Lendl has really picked up since the first set is his forehand.
I agree.
It was a little bit scratchy with it in the first set, a bit tentative. Made quite a few unforced errors, bad ones too.
15-30.
15-40.
Now 2 break points for Lendl. If Lendl breaks, it'll be 3 breaks in 3 games in this 3rd set. Tony Roach.
Well, there's a case of the wind beating him completely, and I thought the footwork was a little sloppy too, but the ball just stopped dead.
He's awfully deep in the court again to receive the 2nd serve. Let that ball travel longer through the air, lose a little speed, and it's more apt to be affected by the wind. Still a break point for Lendl. Again under pressure, the serve and volley tactic by Wilander pays off.
Deuce again.
You don't win 2 Australian Open championships on grass without being able to serve and volley some.
Strange, isn't it? He's done much better in Australia on the grass than on the grass courts of Wimbledon. I think the bounce of the ball is probably a little higher on the Australian grass than it is at Wimbledon.
Well, I'm sure you've got better grass too.
And it's Lendl.
That was almost sacrilege, saying that about Wimbledon grass. How dare you?
I didn't say that.
Again, a break point for Lendl.
The hallowed grass courts of Wimbledon.
Now Lendl standing over behind the doubles alley. They hit a forehand. Daring Mats to try to go down the center with his 2nd serve. Miss-hit forehand by Ivan. I still feel that that would have been an opportunity for Ivan to really pound that 2nd serve.
Yeah, what I can't understand is if you're going to stand over in the alley like that and try to intimidate the server, and then he
do something with it.
Yeah, he serves it and you get it on your forehand, and he just rallied it back.
Of course, I think we ought to also say that it's very easy from up here.
Sure
a lot
is.
more difficult down there.
That's a fact.
Wow.
You really drew a beat on that one.
Woo. And
that was really nailed.
And we're seeing in those
Lendl.
rallies when Mats is hitting backhands, the 2-hander backhand is bouncing up high because it's got topspin, and I think Lendl's liking that. He much prefers it to the slice backhand.
If the topspin ball lands short, he can take advantage of it. If the slice lands short on the backhand side, he can't because he has to slice it back. Another opportunity here for Lendl to get a break and lead 2-1 in the 3rd.
Game Lendl.
Got another ball he could really take a beat on.
You have him out here, the #1 ranked player in the world, the #3 ranked player in the world. And right now, Lendl has a service break, serving at 2-1 in the 3rd set. Sets are 1-all. There's a one-handed backhand passing shot. He made 2 of those against Edberg. Marvelous shots in his semifinal match. That tells you something right there. Ivan says, where did that one come from? All you have to do is lose concentration for a moment, and you do what Lendl did. That breeze blowing that ball around. He's down love 30.
Sets are 1-all. Lendl leads 2 games to 1 in the 3rd.
Needs to consolidate a break to open up a bit of a lead here, take charge.
Previously, average match times before today for both Lendl and Wilander, 2 hours 7 minutes, 2 hours 17 minutes. They're already considerably past that, and we're only in the 3rd set.
Sit back and relax. We're going to be here a while.
See, Wilander's gone back to the slice single-handed backhand in this rally. Two break points for Wilander. It's interesting, isn't it? They have a number of rallies, and every now and again they have a long rally to sort each other out.
Right. I don't think Ivan's smart to get into those kind of mimicking kind of rallies. He needs to get off. If Matt starts doing the underspin, the underslice backhand, he needs to get off and get onto the forehand.
Move Matt's around from side to side. Try to create a short ball to come in on.
See if Mats tries to jump on a second serve here. Great shot.
We thought the wind was easing up, but it seems to have picked up again.
It does. And the clouds have sort of moved in now. So
it was down 1-love a break and then 2-1 a break in this set, and he's managed to come back each time. It could be a chance for him to take that momentum and move with it. Normally in a match you can pick games where the momentum will. Wilander just yelling at the wind. You can see when the momentum changes.
Be careful, let the wind will answer back.
That's right.
he's been broken 6 times, and Lendl's been broken 3 times.
$30 love.
I don't know about you, Nick, but I was always taught that if you're playing a player that slices, goes under the ball on one side and over the other, you go in on the side he cuts, goes underneath because the ball's more apt to sit up. And Wilander there came in, and Lendl cut the ball.
I think that's a good play that Wilander is doing, is serving and volleying. Perhaps he could do a little more of it. It's a very tough returning serve in gusty conditions.
Little counter punching done that time by Wilander. Lendl was pounding him, but he got a ball down where Lendl had to volley it up and softly, and there's the reaction.
If anything, I get the feeling the crowd is a little bit more for Wilander, and Matt said that when we talked to him yesterday.
No question
he
about it.
hoped that they would be more for him, because usually if there's no real favourite, they'll go for the underdog,
Right.
and he said, I think I'm the underdog.
I think golf is probably the only sport where they don't root for the underdog.
Why is that?
You're asking me 2 tough questions. I don't.
Sorry, I'll take it back.
Okay.
Game Wilander.
Game Wilander, it's 3-2. Lendl serving at 2-3 in the third. Sets are 1-all.
Love 15.
There's the final shot, and watch Ivan Lendl show you the importance of the first serve. Here's a look at him. I think that was, he said something in Czech there, 8%, less than half.
That's really low for the second serve, isn't it? You'd maybe 45 to 50%.
You're playing a tough guy with good groundies.
Yeah.
15 all.
Lendl wisely let that ball bounce because it was a defensive lob and it is gusty, but I thought he was a little bit slow getting his racket up into the hitting area.
That probably tells us a little story of the match, that when a second serve, Lendl puts his second serve into the play, he can't dominate the rally, and so they get into a long rally, and therefore in those long rallies he's only winning 38% of the points. On that occasion, he got a first serve into play. There was a weaker return, and he could dominate the rally.
30-15.
Taking that a step further, if you had that information and you were able to coach him on the sidelines, you'd say, figure out a way to move the ball around a little bit, shorten the rallies up.
Or get more first serves in.
Yeah, that's right. That's the easy way.
First serve percentages under 64, Lendl just 48. Again, those statistics furnished us by the Unisys Corporation, and again we thank them.
Good play from Wilander. Then he saw that he'd made a nice deep return.
40,
had Lendl
30.
way back in the behind the court, you can see here, and there's Wilander sneaking in. Picks off a nice volley here. He didn't try to hit it away. He was willing to work for the point after that.
I think he could see the way Ivan came up one hand that didn't have his left hand on the racket. He wasn't going to roll it. Had it cupped the angle across court, and Mats got there quickly. 40-30.
Big crowd enjoying this for a Monday afternoon in New York. A lot of folks came out. 6 double fault for Ivan Lendl.
A lot of people called in sick from work.
Just the time he needed it.
Advantage Lendl.
Quickly.
All of a sudden, Lendl comes out with 2 big shots.
He
That's
made a pretty
play.
big forehand, didn't he, on that last one?
Sure did. That gives you a lot of confidence too, because that's his 2 big clubs that he has in his arsenal, is his first serve and his forehand, and they came out just when he needed them.
Love 15.
The Grand Lady, Statue of Liberty, guarding New York Harbor.
Isn't that a beautiful sight?
Makes you proud to be around. So does that. The stadium, the National Tennis Center, the finals, men's final. Tina Navratilova earlier today won the doubles and the mixed doubles after winning the singles yesterday. What a great accomplishment that is.
Love 30.
That hadn't been accomplished in the U.S. Open since 1970.
Lendl picking up the pace a little bit here.
It's love 30.
I think he's trying to find ways to shorten the rallies, go for his shots a bit more. He returned that serve
15,
and then
30.
made 2 attempts to get into the net, but Wilander's so tough. He was there. Shots kept coming back.
It seems, Nuke, almost inevitable when they get into those rallies where Wilander starts slicing the backhand and Ivan has to do the same thing, that Wilander's going to win the point.
Frustrating, you know, you bang a shot to the corner and you think you're going to get a short ball back off it, comes back deep. Start the rally over again. Well, there's one. He really nailed that one on the second serve. Haven't seen him do that too much.
15, 40.
I still say I think it's the best swing you ever get at your opponent is off his second serve. The ball's up.
And if you've got a forehand like Lendl.
Sure. And that really creates problems for the server if you do that a few times successfully.
Especially if it's short like that.
And then if they try to lengthen it out, they have to serve doubles once in a while.
$15.40.
Yeah, 2 big break points for Lendl.
Very unusual, as well as being a lot.
Tough to win a point out there.
15 love.
Very patient point by Lendl.
There's a pretty good volley that time. Now Ivan's going to step up and volley. I said, whoop, I better back off, and angle it off for a winner. He let the ball bounce up, get higher than the top of the net.
Very intelligent point.
Samantha Frankel, Ivan's girlfriend, eagerly watching. And that was following on his loss to Machir in the
The tournament down in Florida there.
Down the Lipton International,
yeah.
right?
And that was a major tournament. He worked his way back, and I know talking to Tony Roach back in March, Tony was, you know, worried about him getting back to top form in time for the French. I think Tony went over about 6 weeks earlier before the French to work out.
Another very solid backhand volley made by Lendl, but he ends up losing the point.
The points are now as we get down towards the end of the third set. Unforced error is just about the same. The points become very, very important. You start playing the match at this stage, point by point.
$15-30.
Now 2 break points for Wilander.
15-40.
It was a good return from Wilander there. He went for it on the second serve.
First serve.
I had the feeling Mats thought that backhand of Lendl's was going to go out. Like it just dropped on the sideline.
He really didn't question the call, but I think you're right. He thought it was going out.
He was staring at the mark like...
Well, he's in the shadows now, and the ball was coming out of the sunlight.
So another second serve for Mats on a break point.
And let's see if he goes for this one like he did on the last one. He was a little bit tentative then, Tony.
Not Lendl.
Wilander, sorry,
yeah, right.
when he was coming in.
He came in off a short ball, but it was low, so he could only slice it. So it didn't have much bite to it.
He looked like he really didn't believe that he should be in behind that one.
And if he knew then what he knows now, he wouldn't have come in.
That's right. Hindsight.
Deuce.
Lendl up 4-3.
Awfully difficult to hold serve. John Anders Sjogren, and there's Tony Roach, the coaches of the two players. Now break point again for Wilander. been a very strange match in that the first set is won in a tiebreak, 9 points to 7
advantage Wilander.
by Wilander. Lendl came back and won 6-love, and now we've had 5 breaks.
Good mistake on the scoreboard, and that's the reason for the reaction from the crowd. It's been corrected. Everything's okay now.
Crowd rule.
It's about 6 minutes after 5 here in New York. It's past our allotted time.
Right. We'll stay with this match, however, until it's completed. Excuse me.
Sorry. I was just going to say that the fist pumping has really become in vogue now, hasn't it? I noticed Ivan's giving the fist pump now. He doesn't seem to have it down real natural, though.
Edberg was doing it.
Yeah.
Mats does it.
Connors, I guess, started that fist pumping move.
Fine passing shot. Gets another break point for the Swede.
Advantage Wilander.
This is the good shot, getting it down. Lendl's ball is short, and there again.
That's the double. That's the double barrel. Here we go. Yeah.
I don't remember anybody doing it when I played back in the dark ages. I don't remember anybody doing that stuff.
Well, if you did that, then you were a hot dog.
That may be. How about you, Nuke?
I have trouble remembering back that far. Let me think about it for a sec.
You think you got a problem?
Here comes a tough second serve, too.
A very patient rally then from Lendl. Didn't try to overhit his forehand. He hit it like 3/4 pace and just waited for the right one to get the angle off.
Hit some awfully solid forehands. They were heavy.
Mm-hmm.
One thing he didn't do was get into that chopping, slicing backhand duel.
Right. He got around so he could hit forehands.
Right.
It's getting pretty tough to hold a serve in this third set.
It's getting pretty tough to win a point. That's a play that Lendl did then, Tony, that I don't believe he would have done 2 years ago.
That's right.
And certainly not done that successfully. He has improved his serve and volley game, not as much as he would have liked to have. Got to the final of Wimbledon on grass where you have to serve and volley the last 2 years. You don't have to, but you should if you want to win. Broke a string in his racket. We'll see him go over and pick up another racket. He'll take the wrapper off the grip. He's already got the wrapper. He usually has them wrapped in cellophane.
Yeah, no, I guess no threat of moisture today, so he's taking a couple out.
Humidity. temperature he thinks has an effect. And that's coming up on 3 hours. If everything were according to what you'd like, all the rackets would be the same, would they not?
Yeah, although, you know, you might want a couple in there, a little different tension, maybe one a little tighter and one a little looser, in case you don't feel like you're playing well or getting a good start. But basically, he'd want them the same, I would think. You certainly want the same shape of grip, the same weight balance in the racket.
Advantage Lendl, 3 hours exactly now. They've been at it. Again, a reminder that we will stay until the completion.
Ivan's been in the net 50 times now and won 35. Mats has been in there 39 times and won 21.
Oh, great shot. That was a super forehand then from Wilander. Just have a look at where he had to make his shot, and what made it such a great shot was that he really hit it hard and firm to get that amount of angle, hitting the ball that solid. And there we go with the double barrel again.
They're doing it on every point now.
Yeah.
You got to learn that step.
You got to be able to hit it past somebody first.
Got to have 2 good knees too.
I wonder if we'll ever get someone like those soccer players. You know, you just do a little dance around the stadium, swinging your fists in the air.
Mats has not had a lot of success in converting break points. 3 of 12. He's got another one here. 5th break point of the game.
How about that match against Edberg the other day? He had 10 break points in the one game before he broke.
He's one to jump on right now. Come in, maybe.
Be a good play, a good try. Get around it and hit a forehand.
Didn't get a chance to hit the forehand, but he did get the break.
Keep your seats.
I don't know, Tony, but that could have been a. He can't put his. He can't put Mats away.
Of course, on the other hand, Mats can't put him away either. You know, it's.
Well, that's true, but I just. I wonder if Mats is thinking a little bit more positively at this stage than Ivan is.
Wilander asking for quiet. Games are 4-all. 3rd set.
3 hours and 4 minutes.
Lendl got up that ball quickly.
30-15.
30-15.
I have never seen Wilander show this much emotion in a tennis match. I mean, in his career, I haven't seen him show this much emotion.
That's exactly right. He's trying to get some water out of the well.
The last 3 matches against Machir and then against Edberg. He said yesterday he hasn't won a Grand Slam event for 2 years, and I think he's hungry. He senses that Ivan is just down on himself a little bit at the moment. Do you have that feeling, Pat? And Mats is trying to pick up the pace a bit now. He has won 2 French and 2 Australian titles, has not won a Wimbledon or a United States Open yet.
Second double fault. It's 40-30.
He was going to serve and volley on that one too. Be only the second time in the match, I think, that he would have served and volleyed on the second serve.
It's a situation. Lendl's second serve.
He smells blood.
Yeah, you know, the mark of it. The mark of any real champion is when you, as you say, smell blood, and you're able to take advantage of it, and that's exactly what Wilander's trying to do now.
They turn the lights on, and the shadows that were in existence and in presence before are now gone.
It's a feeling, Tony, that you get down there. Tennis, I believe, is a very gladiatorial-like sport, and you're in a mental combat with your opponent for, well, they've been out there for 3 hours and 10 minutes now, and you can feel the electricity coming from your opponent, whether it's negative or positive.
Just the 2 of them in a big arena.
Much like boxing. Consecutive final appearances. Bill Tilden, 8. Richard Sears, 7. Ivan Lendl, 6.
Pretty good company. Ivan's in there.
Yeah, he's not finished yet either. His story hasn't been written.
It's 15-30 here.
30 all.
30 all. 7th ace by Ivan. Wilander has 1. That's misleading, really, because Wilander served well.
He has. Higher percentage than Lendl.
Too good a shot.
Yeah, that had some power on it, that forehand. Wilander knew which way it was coming.
40-30.
40-30. Monday at the U.S. Open.
Other than some gusty wind, Pat, these would be absolutely ideal playing conditions. Not that hot. The humidity is way down compared to what it was.
It is windy, however.
Hold that kid.
Game Lendl.
5-all. First set went to Wilander in a tiebreaker. Tiebreaker score was 9-7. And Lendl came back 6-love in the second set. Now we're in the third.
Again, Lendl standing over to his left, saying, I want to hit a forehand. He's done this before, but hasn't really gone after the forehand too much. See what he does here.
And he got what he wanted. And he did what he wanted to.
The gamble there is standing over, leaving that court open if the guy wants to take a chance and slide it up the center. But once he doesn't do that, you've won the gamble. Now you got to try to do something with it. Took a big swing at that one, trying to put some mustard on it. That, I think, is partly due to the tenacity and ground strokes of Wilander. Against someone else, he might not have tried to do so much with it and get in behind it.
We were talking about who moves more quickly, Wilander or Lendl. Wilander seems to hit everything waist high. He's always there.
Mm-hmm. 15-30. Again, Nuke, a crucial point. He serves and volleys.
That's right. Good tactics when your opponent's least expecting it.
I like it because you put instant pressure on the other guy.
He moves so well to go with it.
Lendl has double the unforced errors in this set, but Wilander has 15-7 now.
Just looking at the two players at the moment, Wilander seems the steadier of the two in his composure. Lendl is more up and down.
Couldn't agree with you more. That
which may not mean anything in the end run, but this guy is awfully tough. Ivan, when he's walking across the baseline, is constantly pushing his head down and saying, come on, come on. Trying to drive himself.
Be better.
Smart play by Mats.
Another surprise move.
Advantage Wilander.
Well, he knew he hurt him.
He was sneaking in, and when Ivan looked up, look how close he is to the net. Another double pump there. Wilander has the edge, trying to take a 6-5 lead in his third set. In case you joined us late, Wilander won the first set in a tiebreak, 9 points to 7. Lendl won the second 6-love, and we're at 5-all in the third. And we've been out here 3 hours and 19 minutes.
There's our flight, Tony.
Yeah, you should worry. I'm got to get one to Australia. It's going to be a long swim.
You'll get there before you left, though.
Game Wilander.
Game Wilander.
Wilander leads 6-5.
Says Mats.
Yeah, he's holding up 3 fingers. It's going to be tough for either player to come back from 2 sets to 1 down. And here he says he had to count him there.
Yeah,
he had trouble getting him up. Love 15. There's fire in his eyes right now.
It was interesting.
Here's a good backhand down the line on the return by Mats, and then watch him.
Quiet, please.
Now he needs 2 fingers. A couple of court changes ago when Mats hit a winning volley, and I was watching him, and he jogged all the way to his chair right in front of Lendl. It was as if to say, look, I'm ready to go. I'm out here sprinting.
Well, he's always been like that.
Good.
15-30.
Good deep volley by Ivan. Going in behind Mats.
Mats will stay out there till the season changes. Need be.
Lendl didn't like the call. It's called wide.
Second
Whoa. It's a little wobbly.
A little bit of a steer job there, wasn't it?
Somewhat shaky.
Two-set points for Mats Wilander.
I think the telling story there was Lendl just walked towards the net with his head down. He's in trouble at the moment.
Well, he certainly had chances to put this third set away, having the breaks.
Definitely.
Let him, Mats back in it.
Nine aces, and what a time for it.
Yeah, it's real question time moment for Ivan Lendl.
Still a set point.
Sort of when you start asking yourself the question, this is starting to be a little bit painful out here. How badly do I want to win this?
This set is now an hour and a half old. Look out.
Oh, he almost missed it.
Oh, I thought he'd go the other way with a nice flat racket face.
That was so close to missing. Well, have a look at him as he hits this easy put away coming up and angled it away. That was a very nervous shot.
He looks nervous.
Yeah, he made what was an extremely, reasonably easy shot into a very tough one.
Going back, he got in two very strong first serves. So.
Three.
Now, if he gets to a tie break and wins it, then it flip-flops the other way. He's up 2-1, and he's looking good.
Exactly.
Then the adrenaline will start flowing back for Lendl.
It's amazing how much stronger you can feel when you get a set in your pocket. Like the guy that comes in first in the marathon.
Tony Roach trying to be calm. Ivan Lendl's coach.
Yeah, well done,
Lendl.
Tiebreaker.
Forcing himself on.
Tiebreak.
To have seen him get into a long rally on one of those points, though, Tony.
I don't think he wanted to either. First to win 7 points with at least a 2-point advantage will win this third set. Take a 2-set-1 lead.
The first set was settled in a tiebreaker, which Wilander won 9-7.
That's the first lob either player's gotten over the other's head, I think, isn't it? Offensively. They've let a couple defensive lobs land, but
again, I suppose part of the reason, Tony, is the wind has diminished again.
Also, they usually come in on such good shots that it's difficult to lob off. What is that, 5 first serves in a row?
2-0, Lendl.
in the tiebreak in the first set, Lendl won the first 2 points. Wilander came back to win the next 3.
2-0 Lendl.
That was a costly one there because Wilander was only down a mini break until he missed that one. Now he's down 2 service points, serving at 0-4.
Well, they've played 4 points and Wilander's lost 3 of them by trying to be aggressive. He keeps it up.
4-1 Lendl.
Ivan Lendl's tiebreak record here at the U.S. Open. This again, the men's finals. Started at 2 o'clock. We're still in the 3rd set.
I told you it was going to be a long match. They have a lot of rallies.
Yeah, you did.
5:45.
Here's another look.
Lendl.
Short ball here. Mats gets inside the baseline and closes in. Lendl's way behind the baseline. Couldn't get it down. Samantha saying, come on, Ivan.
If Wilander wins this point, he's back on serve. Be pretty happy with that after being down 4-love.
Purser. Lendl.
5-2.
Tough spot for Wilander now because even if he wins his 2 points, Lendl has a chance to serve out this tiebreak and take a 2-1 lead. He would then be serving at 5-4. That's if Wilander, of course, wins these 2.
Purser.
He missed it wide.
5-3 Lendl.
Not by much.
This is Ivan's favorite shot, the forehand, or one of his favorite shots, the forehand down the line on the passing shot on the run. He hits it so well from that far back behind the baseline, generates a tremendous amount of power.
3-5.
Tiebreaker 3rd set. still, as Tony pointed out,
That's a pretty good effort from Wilander to fight back from 4-love down.
He's won 4 of the last 5 points.
Lendl still has the advantage, serving at 5-4, and he has 2 serves.
And if he wins them both, he wins the 3rd set.
Right.
2 big serves, that's all.
Sure. Yeah, that's just serving for the set. He's not serving for it yet. Now he is.
Six-4.
2 set points for Ivan Lendl.
Makes a difference when that big first serve goes in.
Oh, boy. Lendl wants to try to get it here. He doesn't want to have to do it off Wilander's serve.
First serve.
Samantha Frankel have a tough time watching this.
Come on. A little silent come on then.
Yeah. Lendl wins the 3rd set, at least 2-1.
Half of those programs will get down in Australia in 1992.
By that time, you'll be home.
That's the way I feel right now. Surprised he didn't put up a lob there once. Wilander was just hanging over the top of the net.
Ivan mishit 3 shots on that point, and they all stayed in. And I thought that's the kind usually steal, usually win those.
What do you do now, Tony, with the, you know, you played such a pressure-packed set that you really got to try to keep your level of concentration up. It's not that easy.
About Mats or Ivan?
Well, for both players.
And you know, all I can say is we're in the finals of the U.S. Open, and they're pros, and they're the 2 of the best in the world. So I don't think they're going to have any problem. Well, you do have to whip yourself a little bit. We saw Wilander let down a little bit after the first set.
Saw after the first set, Lendl elevate the quality of his game, I think.
Yeah. At this level of intensity that they're applying against one another, both with their shots and their concentration, you've only got to let off your mental concentration a couple of %, and the other guy's going to be all over you. Three hours, 43 minutes. If they play another 2 sets, we're going to have a 5-hour match.
Well, the first set took 1 hour 31, the second 27 minutes, and then this 3rd set 1 hour and 40 minutes.
U.S. Open Championship and $250,000 in prize money to the winner.
And the runner-up gets half that amount, $125,000.
This is what was sort of happening towards the end of the 3rd set. Lendl was starting to make some unforced errors. Then just when he needed it. His big first serve came in. Got him out of trouble.
Just like that.
30-40.
12 aces for Ivan. Speaking of which, baseball, the unforced errors. Last 2 matches, those. Speaking of baseball, we ran into 2 gentlemen last night who knew and know what the game is about. Mickey Mantle and Billy Martin.
Yeah. They've been pals a long, long time.
We're in the 4th set of the men's singles championship between Ivan Lendl and Mats Wilander.
15-love.
Earlier today, after she had won the women's singles championship yesterday, Martina Navratilova teamed with Pam Shriver to win the 1987 doubles championship, and then with Emilio Sanchez the mixed doubles championship. First time that's been done since 1970. And Margaret Smith Court did it.
30-love.
Martina also won the singles. First time here at the U.S. Open since, as I said, 1970. Ivan Lendl trying to win his 3rd straight U.S. Open championship singles, but in a real struggle.
What a dogfight.
One all.
I think that Mats has asked permission to leave the court, maybe on this court change.
$15 love.
doesn't mean he's going to quit.
No, no. Just going to make a little pit stop, I think.
Does he have to? He has to do it within the 60 seconds on the changeover.
90 seconds.
90 seconds on the changeover.
I wonder if he could take us with him.
Rifle shot for a forehand there.
30 love.
$30-15.
In the process of going after those big ground strokes, Lendl's hit 43 winners. Wilander's hit 27. So there's been a payoff.
Good approach shot from Wilander, and
30 all.
Anticipated very well the down the line forehand from Lendl.
30 all.
Wilander was never in that point. Fought his way back into it. Tremendous topspin lob here. That's a great shot from that far back in the court.
Watch Lendl when he knows he can't get back for this. No. Now he's serving down break point. 1-all in the fourth set.
He had 30 love in this game.
Just about the opposite that time. Lendl was in trouble, and he got off the hook.
Another great topspin lob from Wilander. He hooked that from outside the sideline.
Last couple of points.
Lendl kom tillbaka och kunde kontra i svårt läge på här sidan. Så servade Lendl mot forehandrutan.
That's the report on the progress of this match going back to Sweden by telephone from up in the press box.
Be a pretty expensive telephone.
Yeah. Try 3 teenagers at home.
I have.
Ivan smiling.
Yeah.
Again, I think the toss got away a little bit with the breeze. And he had to sort of grope for it a little bit.
short return and pounced.
That's where a lot of those winners come from. The big serve, you get the weak return and jump all over it.
Tjecken servar nu mot backhandrutan. Och nu kan det bli en kanonserv. Där kommer Tjeckens serv. Och ja, den är fel där utav Lendl. Då finns det vissa möjligheter i alla
Again,
fall.
the report going back to Sweden.
Då servar då Lendl mot backhandrutan på andra serven.
This is a tough game to call over the radio. I've tried to do it sometimes when the picture goes out.
How about by telephone?
Backhand får han Lendl, backhand Wilander, backhand av Lendl, backhand av Wilander kommer där och Lendl trycker backhand djupt ner i Wilanders backhand. Nu kommer Lendls forehand in och Wilander har problem. Wilander rycker tillbaka sin forehand, Lendl långt ner på forehandsidan och Wilander rak backhand. Lendl är där och Lendl trycker sin backhand och Wilander en forehand lite kort och Lendl med piskande backhand igen och Wilander lyfter bollen ner på Lendls backhandsida. Backhand av Tjecken, backhand av Wilander. Tjecken skär backhand, Wilander backhand, Tjecken skär backhand och Wilander backhand cross. Lendl där med sin backhand och Wilander vågar inte gå fram. Rakt backhand av Wilander. Bra spel av Wilander här men han kommer inte. Tjecken missar inte. Över med bollen igen. Wilander där. Det är Tjecken som har gameboll till 2-1. Och en hård forehand av Lendl. Forehand av Wilander tvärs över banan. Forehand av Wilander igen. Och Tjecken går runt, slår forehand. Och Wilander plågar Tjecken i långbollen men Tjecken missar inte. Forehand av Wilander där, ner på baslinjen, backhand av Lendl, backhand av Wilander, ingen vågar sig fram, forehand av Lendl och backhand och frågan är om inte Lendl har mattats här lite grann sen sitt fenomenspel i början på tredje set.
Sounds to me like they sold everything they own.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. Can you imagine doing that for 4 hours? You're not finished yet. I don't know what they pay him, but he's not getting enough.
I think he's going to be more tired than the players are at the end of the match.
Oh boy,
I got exhausted listening to it.
What he really says is Mats has to go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
Quiet, please.
He's still going up.
Still got a full tank. Now, you knew the name of the newspaper. You know what he said?
Yeah, he said backhand Wilander, backhand Lendl. Lendl finally hit it out.
I think around the 5-hour mark, he goes straight out the window.
Advantage Lendl.
Bjorn Borg's record in the finals, lost to Connors, lost to McEnroe twice. Now it's Wilander.
I really think that's part of the reason why he finally retired. It was a bugaboo to him. He never did win the Australian, but he didn't go down there, to my knowledge. But had he won here, he would have gone down there to try to complete the Grand Slam. He had some bad luck. I remember he was hurt one time, the thumb, and I know he didn't like to play in the dusk as it got dark.
Wilander leading, and we'll be back at the U.S. Open in just a moment. Wilander serving. Long.
15 love.
From Manhattan, sunset.
We were sort of kidding when we first started this match,
Right.
talking about sunsets that you'd see.
For a report right now, let's go to Jim Nance.
Well, Pat, we've been listening to the call that's going back to Sweden on Air Radio Sweden. It's estimated that half the population of the country is either listening to this by radio or watching some of the satellite feeds via television. Mats Strandberg on play-by-play, and as far as the phone bill goes, they're not sure because they called collect, Pat.
It's a wise choice.
Kort boll forehand av Wilander innanför linjen precis. Forehand av Wilander ut i andra hörnet på Lendls forehand sida. Forehand tryck av Lendl och så Lendl skär med backhand. Lendl försiktig, boll tillbaka.
At least it's after midnight in Sweden, so they got a lower rate.
$15-30.
15-30, so a little opening here for Lendl.
All now.
That's a change of tactics. The last 2 points from Wilander. He spun his first serve in 3/4 pace with a kick. Tried to get in real fast. Seen previously in the match when he served and volleyed, it's been behind a hard first serve.
Expressway. If you're going to use it, allow some extra time.
Be patient, right?
Tony, we're almost 4 hours and 10 minutes in. The fatigue factor has to be coming in a little bit mentally or physically. So. Who do you see as being looking the fresher of the two at this stage?
All I know is that Ivan Lendl works awfully hard off the court, riding the bike and doing the exercise, aerobics and all the practicing. My guess is that might pay off for him in this match.
I think, if I may, if you look at him, Wilander looks fresher.
That's my opinion too. I think Wilander looks awfully tough for a guy who's 2 sets to 1 down and knows he's got another hour and a half or so of work if he wants to win this match.
We'll be staying with this match until the conclusion.
Whoa.
15 off.
It's a little bit, Wilander looks at it, Pat, a little bit like our friend we were talking about the other day, the fat lady, you know. The opera ain't over till the fat lady sings, and Mats doesn't, as far as Mats is concerned, she needn't even call for the gargle water
Not yet.
That's the 7th double fault.
She can go out for another meal. Gone.
See Mats after that point, the
15.
The lob goes out. Mats is at the net. He jogged back to return the next serve.
Lendl really struggling on his first serve. In this set, he's only getting 45% in. In contrast, Wilander is getting 80% in. I think it must be just habit. You see, Wilander missed that last ball and looked at the court like, you know, has he got a bad bounce or something. If it doesn't hit on that painted line, you get a pretty true bounce.
Total attendance here at the U.S. Open, 409,484 through today. Another tremendous job by the USTA. There's Gordon Jorgensen, the president of the USTA. What a job they've done.
They really have done a good job. They are criticized in areas and perhaps some justified, but they do a heck of a job.
Game Lendl.
That is, if they finish playing tennis. Wilander serving.
15 love.
In the fourth set, Lendl leads 3-2 in the fourth. It's 15-love.
That's a Swedish flag, so he must be a Wilander fan.
Or else he's cold. Love. Match 4 hours and 16 minutes old now.
He's up 2-1, but Wilander's looking awfully tough.
This is what many feel the pivotal game in this set, the 7th game. Of course, at this stage, they're all important.
Love.
But you did in the beginning. You have to stop after that. You can do it again.
Take it off, Matt!
Mats Wilander saying to umpire Rich Coffin, you can overrule Cyclops, right? You did it at the beginning. So yes, I can, if I think it's necessary. If Cyclops did make a mistake.
15 all.
Look at the way things are progressing. Lendl is ahead 2-1, but still you get the impression, the feeling, I think, Tony, that Mats Wilander still very much in the match.
He certainly is. He's a tough guy. I love his attitude. And this is just a dogfight. You know, they're just fighting one as hard as they can, and nobody's going to give in. It could get down where somebody just gets leg weary.
You get the same feeling?
I see some mistakes coming towards the end of the third set, even from Lendl's racket, that were not coming earlier in the match, and a few more, and that's kept up during this set. I think Mats believes out there that
30-15.
he's slowly wearing Lendl down. I think he has this feeling, and the question is, will he run out of time?
I was going to say he better hurry, because if, you know, lightning can strike quickly.
3-3 in the fourth. Lendl serving at 30-15.
I would imagine that in the next couple of games we'll see Lendl try to go with it. Some big first serves and some forehands. There is two major weapons that he can win points very quickly with.
Critical, crucial situations throughout the match. Lendl has been able to come up with big serves when he needed them.
His first serve saved him in the third set, I believe. He was down a couple of set points and came up with 4 big first serves to get out of that game at 5-4, I think.
He gets his first serve in, he wins 78% of the points, only 40% on his second serve, so.
Tony Roach.
Just long.
Game Lendl. He leads.
Wilander number 3. He's about to serve at 3-4 in the fourth set. He won the first one in the tiebreaker. Lendl came back 6-love in the second. And in the tiebreaker in the third, Lendl won.
Second serve.
Pat, I think we're going to see Lendl throw everything he has into this game. You agree, Tony?
I do agree. I think he'd be smart to try to jump on these second serves, really put some pressure on Mats.
Which he just did.
I think we're going to see more points like that too. He'll be looking for every short ball he can get.
Mats has been serving spin serves on his first serve in the last few games. I don't know if it's to conserve energy or change pace, but if he gets the first serve in, it'll be tough for Lendl to jump all over it, because Ivan's not sure what he's going to do on the first serve.
See what he does on this one, whether he hits it or spins it. Oh, he threw the ball left of his left of center, which would tell you that he's going to kick it into your backhand. And he surprised Ivan completely by going down the middle.
He sent him a false message there.
Yeah, that was a very good tactical serve.
(30-15).
Good return. Behind the back.
That was a tired shot. Never moved his feet. I don't think Mats Wilander wouldn't have noticed exactly the same thing.
You know, there's been discussion about whether players like easy matches in the early rounds or tough matches. This is why you like easy rounds early. The tempo is slowed just a little bit, don't you think? The movement on both players is slowing down a little bit, and understandably.
Certainly. 4 hours, 25 minutes.
Well, and it's got to be in the back of Lendl's head. Gee, I want to win this set, but if I don't, I need some reserves left for the fifth set.
Wilander can't think that way.
No.
He's got to win this one or it's all over.
I think he may be overdoing that play just a little, Tony.
The aggressive play?
The
spinning it and coming in.
Three-quarter pace first serve, kicking. You know, if you're used to it, it's not a hard serve to hit. It should be used as a surprise tactic.
Maybe he's getting a little tired too, that, you know, it just takes too much out. I'm going after all the first serves. See what he does here.
Deuce.
Here's a second look. Try the drop volley by Ivan. It's too deep. Lendl guessed right, but hit it perfectly flat, and it flew over the baseline. So we come back live. Ivan took quite a big swing at that ball instead of blocking it.
I thought his hands looked slow too, Tony.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Deuce.
3 double faults by Mats Wilander. Crucial time. They always seem to come at a crucial time.
Everything's crucial from here on in too,
Right.
obviously, and more so for Wilander because he's down 2-1. Probably the most productive serve in this match for Wilander has been the wide one to the deuce court. It's paid off for him over and over.
This was a super return from Lendl because the serve went exactly where maybe it could have been a fraction deeper, but pretty much where Wilander wanted it to go. Lendl read that one.
Two things too, and notice that ball was not that far away from Mats, and he didn't really react real well, and he was not inside that service line. So again, perhaps signs of a little fatigue.
We're not seeing a lot of those long rallies that we
No,
saw
sir.
earlier, are we?
Advantage to Lendl.
The Unisphere close by, and on the right of your picture now, the USTA's National Tennis Center. Public facility when this is over. Fourth set.
That almost hit the baseline.
you arm weary.
15 love.
I would guess it would the same thing would go for Mats trying to drop shot from 4 or 5 feet behind the baseline. They are trying to end the rallies earlier now. If you're tired, Nuke, I think you expend less energy going to the net than you do going side to side on the baseline. Would you agree with that?
Yes.
That's the worst thing when they get jerked around side to side back into the corner when you're tired. 4 hours and 31 minutes these players been out there.
The worst is when you have a long rally like that and lose the point.
Yep. There again, a strange attempt by Lendl, a drop volley.
There's the draw and how they got here. Lendl beat Connors to get to the final. Wilander beat his countryman Stefan Edberg.
Here's a second look. This forehand volley's not hit real well. You see it's inside the service line. Mats gets there a little late. No way he can get to this one.
Didn't look too fatigued when he was running for that,
no,
did he?
didn't.
No, you might question why you'd run for that. We know you had no chance to get to it. This stage, you got to start thinking about, as you said earlier, Pat, the full tank. Now, what you got left in that tank?
He may still be running on a full tank.
Sunset over downtown Manhattan. Almost to the point now where you say, who do I have to talk to get out of here?
This is where it gets dangerous. A couple of quick points, a double fall, a missed volley, a passing shot, and a service break is yours.
30-all. Lendl has had 50 unforced errors. Wilander 41.
Nuke, you talk about sucking it up. This is where you really got to do it right here.
Say that again. He has, in the past 4.5 hours, come up with some big first serves on these occasions.
There's another one. 4-all in the fourth.
30.
Well, this is what seems to be, I believe, keeping him in the match and just ahead of Wilander at this stage. Those big first serves at the He hasn't got a lot of big first serves in during the match, has he? Just at crucial times.
Been served about 50% of first serves.
But the ones that he's gotten in have been, as Nuke says, very critical, crucial times.
Great save.
Yeah.
Oh. And look at Lendl walking back. He's starting to wonder, what do I have to do?
Unbelievable. Looks like he's out of it. He gets up the good defensive lob. They're standing on their feet. Now watch this one. On the dead run, one-handed. Stefan Edberg saw two of those go by him in the semis. Another look, and watch the reaction.
That really is unbelievable.
That would have put Lendl up 5-4.
Poor Ivan back there. I mean, he's just shaking his head. So what do I have to do to put this guy away? What did he have? 3 service breaks during the third set?
Yes.
And was then only able to win it in a tie break. that was a good play from Lendl, Lenny. You notice after that last point, he really took his time. He walked around the baseline, got his composure back.
The crowd gave him a little extra time, too, with their applause.
It'd be easy to lose your head out there, Tony, with the crowd going that wild about your opponent hitting a winner.
Oh, I think that one just, there's not against anybody. They're just acknowledging the fantastic shot.
Great play.
Yeah, by both players. It just happened that Mats made the final shot on that sensational backhand. And you can't ask for anything more. You got the men's final. How close can it get?
Serving at 4-5 in the fourth. The longest finals. Borg and McEnroe, 4 hours, 14 minutes. This one is not over yet. 15 all. Wilander had a chance to go 30 love.
Not even as exuberant. Come on, let's go, man. Get me out of here.
His fist got tired. He changed hands with his fist.
Now's real trouble. What do you do here?
I'll tell you what I think he's going to do. He's going to serve and volley. He's done it the whole match when he's in trouble, when it's crucial.
Does he try another one of those fake serves down the middle like he aced Lendl on before?
I think he'll go for this one. I think he's got to put a little more pace on it. Try to get a good first serve in and come in behind it.
Okay. Oh, right through the line.
30 all.
I think that was a slight grin from Ivan.
Oh, that's a glare that will scare.
A grimace. Samantha, Ivan's girlfriend, and Tony Roach, the coach, sitting there. Sonia Mulholland, who's married to Mats Wilander. I think these people want to go home.
40, 30.
That was not a tired leap.
No, sir.
Definitely not. Whoops.
Ivan Lendl's mother and father looking on.
Points, says Ivan. That was a very good backhand that he hit then. He set himself, have a look at him, set himself with this backhand. He picked his mark exactly where he wanted to hit it. 2 more points, he says.
Just checking it for you.
I thought he meant he wanted to play 2 more sets.
You're getting funnier as this goes longer.
Now let's see if Lendl tries to jump on this second serve.
I think he should, if he gets a chance to.
He's standing to his left, inviting Wilander to try to break it wide, sort of baiting him to see if he'll take a chance. Whoa.
4 double faults by Mats Wilander.
Now to your serve and volley again. He's got to go for it, I guess.
Match point.
Yeah, and the crowd is loving it.
Might try to go down the middle here, Pat. Nope.
Oh. Deuce.
Well, he spun it in at 3/4 pace.
You notice where he was coming, don't you? He said, if you're going to beat me, you're going to have to make a heck of a shot. He's coming to the net.
Lendl took a swing at it, but I think the pressure.
Deuce.
Both camps have to be very, very nervous.
Oh no, missed it.
The easiest shot of the whole point. He gave it the stiff arm.
He made the two tough ones,
Right.
the backhand smashes.
Tried to play it real safe, I think, with sort of a stiff arm.
Quiet, please.
Wilander has the ad trying to get even at 5-0 in the fourth set.
That's the third time in the match that he's served and volleyed on the second serve. Pretty dangerous sort of play at this stage of the game. I guess it was worth a try. He probably thought he'd take him by surprise.
Now what does he do? What does Lendl try to do off the second serve? He's standing again to his left.
Wants to hit the forehand.
Yep. I have a feeling Mats might try to break it wide on him.
Got the forehand. Got what he wanted.
And he's at match point.
Come on right now, she said.
Quiet, please. Thank you.
It's almost like Samantha's trying to will her with herself to give him a little bit of help there.
She's not as tired as he is.
Spin it in again to the backhand.
That's what he did.
Game, set, match, Lendl.
And Lendl got it down the line. What a struggle. 4 hours and 47 minutes to play 4 sets.